For Eric J on Sports, I'm Eric J, and this is what I think. Several years ago, Lavar Ball became famous, or some would say infamous, because he made news by trumpeting the fact that he had 3 sons who were great basketball players and that all of them would leave Chino Hills High School in California, attend UCLA, and then ultimately make it to the NBA, play for the Lakers together, and win championships with the Lakers. He started making these proclamations anywhere he could get a microphone, and once he did that, he started receiving more and more interview requests, and he kept talking, and some people wanted him to be quiet, and other people wanted to hear what he had to say. Time would pass, his 3 boys would end up at UCLA, and then his 3 boys would finish their one-and-done season with UCLA, and then things happened. His 3 boys have all made it to professional basketball. Keep in mind, I didn't say the NBA. But his 3 boys have all made it to professional basketball with different, varying levels of success. One son has become an all-star and become a highly paid player. One son has become a serviceable talent who is a good role player and a good addition piece to a team. And the other son has not made it to the league at all. The other son has never played an NBA game or suited up for an NBA franchise. Now, the oldest boy, Lonzo, was the first one out of UCLA. He was drafted by the Lakers as the number 2 pick in the draft because the Lakers were under such tremendous pressure to draft Lonzo Ball that they felt like they had to. So they did. And when they did, they got him and they realized he was an unpolished, unfinished product. He's worked on the parts of his game that were unfinished, and he's made himself a serviceable pro. And now Lonzo Ball is a serviceable pro playing for the Chicago Bulls, though albeit he's recovering from injury, he is a quality glue piece to what the Chicago Bulls are attempting to do. He's never been an all-star. He made the second all-rookie team, but he's never been an all-star, but he is a quality player. Second child, LiAngelo Ball, is the one who's never played in the NBA. He's done some G League stints and he's playing ball in Europe. And he's struggling to get to the National Basketball Association. And the third son, LaMelo, is the all-star. LaMelo, who was thought to be just someone who was a chucker, who was a ball hog, who was ball dominant, and who would sprint out, who would leak out after rebounds so he could get easy layups and score a lot of points. LaMelo has become a quality NBA player. LaMelo is an all-star. LaMelo has made the all-star teams, which is what I'm saying. It's not just my opinion. He has made the all-star team. And LaMelo has become a quality ball player worthy of a max contract. So you look at the 3 sons, you've got 1 all-star, you've got 1 serviceable pro, and 1 player who's never made it to the league. So why are we talking about the ball boys? Well, I'm not. Well, yeah, literally I am, but I'm not. What I'm talking about is LeBron James Jr., known to the world as Bronny. This is not another referendum on does Bronny deserve to be in the league? Should the Lakers have taken him? Should the Lakers have drafted someone else and then signed Bronny as an undrafted free agent? Are the Lakers surrendering themselves to LeBron James, selling their soul to the devil, as it were, or any of that stuff? This is not what this is. That conversation has been had to death. This is a question of which ball brother will Bronny James become? Because there's only those 3 options with regards to an NBA career. Either you're going to be an all-star, you're going to be a serviceable pro, or you're not going to make the league. There is journeyman status, but for journeyman status, for somebody who just goes from team to team and plays and produces and then ends up getting traded or ends up getting cut or ends up going somewhere else, getting signed for league minimums, things like that, if you keep getting signed, then you are a serviceable pro. So you're either an all-star, a serviceable pro, or not in the league. You're either LaMelo, Lonzo, or LiAngelo. Melo, Jello, Lonzo. That's all you got. So which ball brother will Bronny James be? Will Bronny James be an all-star? There are some who feel like he can and some who feel like he can't. Each one of these selections is going to have the same answer. But there are a lot of people right now who feel like the other 3 years that Bronny would have spent in college, Bronny will probably spend in the G League or switching back and forth between G League and NBA games. And I don't see that as happening because LeBron James is not going to wait 4 years to play with his son. But there are a lot of people who feel like Bronny James would benefit from at least 2 seasons of G League play. He'd get a lot of regular reps, he'd get a lot of personalized coaching, because it doesn't matter if you win or lose in the G League. What matters is if you can become a serviceable NBA player. And Bronny James is not currently a serviceable NBA player according to some's assessment. He struggled in the summer league for the first 6 games, and then he produced in the last 2. But there are some people who feel like he's not a serviceable pro. That at 6'1.5", with unrefined skills, that he will need a lot of time and patience and teaching. So there are some who feel that Bronny James will become LiAngelo Ball. He will become the unpolished professional who will spend either a lot of time in the G League or will end up having to go to Europe and may never actually make an NBA roster or play an NBA game. There are others who feel like Bronny will be a serviceable pro like Lonzo. Bronny was not a first-round pick. He was not the number 2 overall selection, where everybody felt like the Lakers should have drafted De'Aaron Fox instead of Lonzo Ball. But there are some who feel like even as the 55th pick in a 60-pick draft, that Bronny James has the raw talent and the pedigree and the DNA from his father to be a serviceable pro, to be someone that teams can rely on and someone that teams can turn to, even if he's not the star, even if he's not the first, second, third, or fourth option, that he'll be someone who could come off the bench for an NBA team, produce some offense, play some defense, and then still help a team to achieve and help a team to succeed. So there's that option. And then there's others, and this is the funny part. There are others who feel like because Bronny James is LeBron James's kid, that Bronny James has all the tools to be an all-star in the NBA. The things that people are saying about Bronny James now is that he's not a great ball handler for his size, because he was tabbed at 6'4" in college, but he's actually only 6'1.5". So seemingly he's got to be a ball handling point guard. He's not a great ball handler. He's not a great shooter, evidenced by the fact that he missed his first 16 3-pointers in the summer league. He's not a great defender because he doesn't have the requisite size to guard anybody, being so short and so small with a small wingspan. So if you're not a good ball handler and you're not a good shooter and you're not a good defender and you're an okay passer, how is that going to translate to all-star? But there are some who feel like Bronny James, with a little schooling, a little coaching, and a little fine-tuning, can be an all-star caliber player. So the question then is Bronny James, LaMelo, the all-star, Lonzo, the serviceable pro, or LiAngelo, the G League, EuroLeague lifer, who never makes it to the NBA? That's the question. And there are varying, differing, dissenting opinions regarding each one of those options. But it remains to be seen. If you ask me today, I'm going to say that Bronny is going to spend a lot of time in the G League and then become a serviceable pro. So he's going to be a combination of LiAngelo and Lonzo. If you ask other people, they're going to say that Bronny James will be on the NBA roster opening day and he's going to be a serviceable pro and then become an all-star. So he's going to be a combination of Lonzo and LaMelo. I don't know. If I did know, I'd be a basketball general manager making millions of dollars. I don't know. And it remains to be seen. So this story is definitely to be continued. But thank you, LaVar Ball, for giving us the options so that we can discuss which way Bronny's going to go based on the way your 3 sons, who were all supposed to be with the Lakers and winning championships, went with their careers. Remember to like and share this video and subscribe to this channel, and visit the Eric J. on Sports website, and follow me on Facebook at Eric J. on Sports 1 and on Instagram and Twitter at Eric J. on Sports. And for Eric J. on Sports, I'm Eric J. and this is what I think.